You'll agonize over what to order for lunch longer than you thought about your last big life decision, chicken or salad. 10 more minutes gone and you still haven't chosen. Meanwhile, the lease, the job offer, the breakup, those got settled in an afternoon. That's backwards. And the reason has nothing to do with being indecisive. It's closer to a glitch in how your brain measures stakes in the first place. Here's the frame you're using without knowing you're using it. Big decisions come with guardrails built in. A job offer has a salary number, a location, a start date. Your brain treats those as facts to sort, not feelings to referee. A lunch order has none of that. No number tells you whether the salad was the right call, so your brain, with nothing to anchor to, just keeps circling the same two options. Psychologist Sheena Iyengar ran an experiment with jam, of all things. One table displayed 24 flavors, another displayed 6. The bigger table pulled in more browsers, curious people, lingering, tasting. But when it came time to actually buy, the 6-flavor table sold roughly 10 times more jam. More options didn't make anyone happier with their choice. It made the choice feel unsolvable, so most people just walked away without one. Notice what that means for your lunch order. It was never that chicken versus salad is genuinely hard. It's that your brain has no signal for when the decision is finished, so it never lets itself finish. Barry Schwartz gave this its name, the paradox of choice. More options in front of you, and each one starts to feel like it could secretly be the wrong one. A trivial decision should be easy precisely because getting it wrong costs nothing. Instead, the opposite happens. Low stakes remove the one thing that normally forces a decision closed: consequence. Nothing is pushing you toward an answer, so nothing pushes you at all. There's another force stacked on top of that one, and it has nothing to do with the number of options at all. A trivial choice quietly turns into a referendum on who you are. Ordering the salad isn't just about the salad, it's the version of you that orders the salad versus the version that doesn't. Choosing a show isn't just about the next 40 minutes, it's whether you're someone who watches that kind of thing. None of that identity weight belongs on a lunch order. It ends up there anyway because your brain doesn't file low stakes and who am I in separate drawers. They bleed into each other, and suddenly a 2-item menu is carrying a job it was never built for. Now here's where it gets stranger, and this is the part almost nobody tells you. Ask yourself why the big decision felt easier at the time. It wasn't confidence. Researcher Roy Baumeister studied something he called decision fatigue, and one of the clearest examples of it wasn't from a lab, it was from a courtroom. Researchers Shay Danziger and Jonathan Levov tracked Israeli parole judges across a full day of hearings. Early in the morning, prisoners were granted parole around 60% of the time. By late afternoon, before a break, that number dropped close to 0. Same judges, same law, same kind of case. The only thing that changed was how much deciding they'd already done that day. That's the twist hiding under the whole thing. The big decision wasn't easier because you were braver or clearer-headed. It was earlier. Your brain still had fuel left. The small decision isn't harder because it matters less. It's harder because you're running close to empty by the time it shows up, and emptiness from the inside feels exactly like difficulty. Think about your own day for a second, not the judge's. The lease got signed at 10 in the morning, fresh, before anything else had drained you. The lunch order shows up at 1 after a full morning of smaller invisible decisions: what to wear, what route to take, which email to answer first. None of those felt like decisions at the time. They still cost something. By the time the menu shows up, you're not choosing between chicken and salad with a clear head. You're choosing with whatever's left over, and what's left over isn't much. Sit with that for a second. The lunch order isn't testing your judgment. It's catching you at your weakest hour of the day and mistaking that weakness for a hard problem. There's a second layer underneath this one, quieter, and it might be the bigger reason the loop never breaks. A big decision gets made once, you sign the lease, you take the job, and your brain files it closed. A small decision repeats: lunch again tomorrow, something to watch tonight, what to reply to that message sitting there. Because it repeats, your brain never lets the file shut. Every repetition reopens the case instead of closing it. So the small decision never actually gets small. It just gets recycled day after day at full weight each time. Watch what happens the next time you open a streaming app. 20 minutes of scrolling before you land on something you've already seen. You didn't fail to decide. You decided against 19 other things first, silently, one row at a time, and none of it felt like progress because none of it was final. Group chats do the same thing when 5 people try to agree on where to eat, everyone vetoing quietly, nobody committing first, because nobody wants to be the one whose choice turns out wrong when the cost of being wrong is basically 0. Texting works the same way, and it might be the clearest version of all. You type a reply, delete it. type a slightly different one. Read the original message a fourth time as if it's going to say something new on this pass. It won't. You're not searching for the right words anymore. You're searching for the moment the loop is allowed to end and there isn't one, because nobody handed you a deadline for a text message. You have to invent the ending yourself, which is exactly the thing this loop is bad at doing on its own. That's the modern jam table, streaming rows, delivery apps, endless group chats. Nobody built them to exploit this on purpose most of the time. They just happen to work exactly like Iyengar's table, more flavors, more silent little verdicts that never add up to an actual decision. And this is the part that matters for you today, not just as a fact about how brains work in general. The overthinking was never proof that you're bad at making up your mind. It's your decision-making system doing exactly what it was built to do, running out of anchors on a low-stakes choice, running low on fuel by the time that choice shows up, stuck in a loop it has no built-in way to close. So the next time you're frozen over a menu or a show or a reply you've rewritten 4 times, try giving yourself an artificial anchor. A timer set for 10 seconds, a coin flip you actually honor once it lands, no reflipping because you didn't like the result. Not because the decision deserves less thought, because your brain needs something external to end the loop. That consequence usually ends for you automatically. It won't feel like enough at first. 10 seconds seems too small a container for a decision that's been looping for 10 minutes. But the loop was never really about finding the right answer. Both flavors of jam were fine, both shows would have passed the time. The loop was about not having a stopping point, and a timer is nothing more than a stopping point. You hand yourself on purpose since nothing else was going to hand you one. The big decisions already came with a deadline built into them, a start date, a moving day, a signature that made the choice real whether you felt ready or not. The small ones don't come with any of that. You have to build the ending yourself, on purpose, every single time, because no one else is going to close the loop for you. You'll probably still agonize over what to order for lunch sometimes, but now at least you know it was never really about the lunch.
If you enjoyed this, consider subscribing for more videos.